gotta fight, 'cause there will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time. Oh, 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 oh. There will be a time.
Hey guys, and welcome on into another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends, free NHL picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. We do have 14 games today, as we had 0 yesterday. No games tomorrow, and then back for another full slate on Friday. So we'll jump into the chat and start the show here. Let's run it up, Terry. Yes, we have a great show ahead, and then tweaks K, I'm gonna assume. Let's go. Yes, let's go. We'll start the show as we usually do, and that is taking a look at what happened on the previous show, which was on Monday. Monday, yes. This game hurt, and I'll start right off the bat. A 6-4 day on the show on Monday, but it really could have been an 8-2 day. I had a couple teams not um, blown leads. Boston Bruins were ahead, 4.8 seconds left. Tampa Bay tied it, and then of course Tampa won in overtime. So that was a tough loss. Pasternak over half a power play point. I mentioned on the show, you could take the power play point or you could take the assist. Of course, he got the assist, but it was not on the power play. So this went 0 for 2 in this game. Passed here between Edmonton, Florida. I should have taken the Panthers. Edmonton's long history in Florida came to an end. This Oilers team is just not very good this year. This game, a high scoring game, so I cashed the over. And Gustav Nyquist, over half a point at plus 100. He continues his point streak on the top line for Nashville. I really wish Minnesota would not have let Nyquist go. I really wish they would have kept him. The New York Rangers had a 3-goal lead. They had a 3-0 lead, and of course, they blew that lead. Dallas won 6-3. A couple empty netters in there, but still, that was just a really rough loss as the Rangers were leading pretty much the entire game. I did go 2 for 2 here on player props in this game, though. Eric Gustafsson continued his point streak, and as did Matt Duchene, both continuing their point streaks. So overall, a winning game there. Just could have been 3 for 3 if the Rangers didn't blow a 3-goal lead. Here in this next one, Adrian Kempe, his goal scoring streak ended, unfortunately, but the Kings won in regulation. So that was a winner there. I passed San Jose, Vancouver. Really, the only thing I could have done is taken Vancouver minus 2.5. I'm glad I didn't because they only won 3-1. So I was priced out of that game. I ended up staying off. Vancouver won 3-1. And then the final game of the night, I leaned Flames money line. Glad I didn't pull the trigger on that, but I did pull the trigger on Vince Dunn to get a point, and he scored, I believe it was the second goal of the game. So that was a winner there. So overall, a 6-4 day on Monday. He's back. Yes, I'm back. IceX, it has been a while, Sir Terry. Hello, IceX. Hope all is good. And Rangers looking good. Yes, on the year they've looked great, and they'll bounce back. They have an opportunity to do that today against a division rival. Of course, we'll get to that game here shortly. Before we get to today's games, we are going to look at the polls of the day. So if you haven't seen the polls of the day on Twitter at GWA Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, GWWATF, you can find the polls. So the first poll of the day was this one here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Which underdog is live to win tonight in tonight's games? 47.1% say Vegas against Dallas. 23.5% say the Blackhawks against Columbus. 17.6% say Philadelphia against the Islanders. And 11.8% Vancouver against Colorado. Going to poll number 2. Which game is the best game to bet over on today's slate? 50% say take Vancouver, Colorado over 6.5. 25% say Winnipeg, Tampa Bay over 6.5, and then 12.5% both say take Edmonton and Colorado, Edmonton versus Carolina, or New Jersey versus Detroit over 6.5. And the last poll was which game do you think is going to go to overtime and cash the draw on today's slate? 40.9% say Vegas and Dallas are going to overtime. 27.3% say Philadelphia and New York Islanders. 18.2% say Boston and Florida. And 13.6% say the Rangers and Pittsburgh are going to overtime. There was a comment. How is Flames versus Preds not on this list? This game screams 2-2 headed into overtime. And as I replied, I can only put 4 options in the poll. So unfortunately, I couldn't put everyone. So that game had to stay off. But Dave thinks that Flames and Preds will go to overtime. So we will start with the first game of the day here, which is between the Chicago Blackhawks and the the Columbus Blue Jackets. Chicago plus 124 to plus 126. Columbus minus 138 to minus 150. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And when I look at this game, Columbus should not be minus 150 really against anybody right now. This team is just not playing very well. They are continuing to lose games. But Chicago is untrustworthy. I don't trust them here, even as a dog, even in this spot, even against a bad Columbus team. I don't trust the Blackhawks to get the job done. I can see Columbus winning. Of course, I won't be laying minus 150 on Columbus. But I do like a player prop in this game. Philip Kurashev on the top line with Connor Bedard. He has a point in 5 of his last 7 games. I do think we'll get some goals in this game between these two teams. So I'll take Kurashev, who's on the top line, to get a point at a pretty decent price at minus 115 in this game. Moving on along to our next one, Buffalo Sabres and the Washington Capitals. Buffalo plus 105 to plus 110. Washington minus 121 to minus 130. 6s and 6.5s available here in this game. And Washington had a really rough start to the season, 1-3-1 to start the season. But since then, they've gone 8-1-1. So this Capitals team finding ways to win games and just playing lower scoring hockey. But they're getting good defense. They're getting good goaltending. And they're just finding ways to win games. Buffalo, pretty much even on the season. And I think this is a good spot for the Caps to continue on their winning streak. I am on the Capitals money line minus 124, but no player props for Washington. They're a really difficult team to look at when it comes to player props, but I do have a Sabres prop. So JJ Peterka over half a point at minus 105. Peterka has a point in 9 of his last 11 games. He's been playing really well for the Sabres. So I'm kind of going a little bit on each side here. I'm going to take Washington to win, but I'm going to take Peterka to get a point in this game. Roberts has Caps money line 4-1 in the last 5. Yeah, they're playing really well. They're playing really well. I'm late, but here, better late than never. Thanks for coming, Captain Brian. And with goalies getting confirmed early, which makes me happy, aka did not expect Quick to be like likely to start. Yeah, well, Igor played the last game, and obviously you want to switch goalies up. In the first game, it is Mrazek against Merzlikins, both confirmed. In this game, Devin Levi is likely against Darcy Kemper in this one. And neither goalie, Kemper or Levi, really has that good of stats. Levi 3-4 with a 3.65 goals against average, 880 save percentage. Kemper 3-2 with a 3.07 goals against average, 892 save percentage. Charlie Lindgren has really played well for Washington, but it won't be him in net. It will be Kemper in this one. And Kemper has struggled against Buffalo in the past. 3-2-1 with a 3.69 goals against average, 878 save percentage. But I just like how this Washington team is playing right now. So I'll back them here. And you never know who's going to show up with these teams. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I wanted Lindgren for my play. Yeah, I would have preferred Lindgren as well, but Kemper will get things going eventually for the Caps. Moving on along to one of the games that we discussed here in the poll, which is the New York Rangers and the Pittsburgh Penguins. New York -107 to -115. Pittsburgh -103 to -105. Let me refresh that. Yeah, so things have changed. Rangers -102 to +107. Pittsburgh -110 to -118. 6.5s and a 6 available as well. And the line movement is basically, as Isaac said, it will be Jonathan Quick starting for the Rangers, Tristan Jarry for Pittsburgh. Quick 4-0-1 in the season, 1.98 goals against average, 928 save percentage. Jarry 6-7 with a 2.59 goals against average, 910 save percentage. And I think this game could go to overtime. I think we could have a very close game here. But I do believe the Rangers are going to bounce back after that embarrassing loss, blowing that 3-goal lead. I think we do get a really good performance here from the Rangers. And I will continue to take Eric Gustafsson, who's on a point streak. He has a point in 6 straight games, plus 100 to get a point in this one. I do think this could be a more lower scoring game, but I will take Gustafsson just because of how hot he's been lately. And I like the Rangers here in this one. Robert says Rangers money line. Rangers power play is 32% against the Pens 15%. Yeah, the Rangers historically, at least the last few years, have had a very good power play, and they definitely have the edge on special teams. And then Captain Bryce says Rangers money line. I agree. I agree. And if you want to wait a little bit, as I said, the line is moving towards Pittsburgh's favor. So if you want to bet the Rangers, you may want to wait a little bit and see what happens. See what happens. Moving on along to our next game is the Edmonton Oilers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Edmonton +120 to +125. Carolina -138 to -145. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And Edmonton is just a mess. This team is just a mess. They've had a really rough start to the season, but historically they've done so well in Florida, and they could not beat the Florida Panthers. Of course, Florida's playing great hockey right now, so that's understandable. But this Edmonton team is just not a team that I can put my money on. They're not a team I can back with how they've been playing. Carolina, I like Carolina to win this game. I just don't like the -138, -145. So if you wanted to bet a side in this game, I would recommend betting Carolina money line, but I would recommend parlaying it with something else. Maybe you could look at Carolina in regulation as well at plus money. That's where I'd go if you didn't want to parlay it. But player prop, I have an Edmonton one here. Evan Bouchard over half a point, minus 125. Bouchard has a point in 5 of his last 6 games. And I do expect Edmonton to score in this game. I just think that Carolina scores more. So I'll take a Bouchard point. Stuart Skinner is likely for Edmonton, 4-6-1 with a 3.39 goals against average, 873 save percentage. Antti Ranta, 5-2 with a 2.87 goals against average, an 885 save percentage. So his save percentage isn't all that good either. However, Ranta's been good. 4-0-1 in his last 5 starts. So he's been playing much better recently. So I like Carolina, but I like Bouchard to get a point in this one. Canes win 5-3. I could see that. I can definitely see that. Ranta. Yeah, Ranta. With Skinner against Ranta, I went with overtime and Oils to win. Ooh, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Edmonton takes a lot of penalties. Yeah, they're just a mess. A mess. When you have the best player in the NHL and Draisaitl, who's a top 5 player in the NHL, you should not be where the Oilers are this season. Thought about Canes and Reg, but I couldn't pull the trigger. Yeah, same, same. I'll just parlay Canes money line with something else. Canes money line. Yes, I definitely think that's the right way to go in this one. Moving on along to the next game here, as we do have a 14-game slate, so lots of games today. Winnipeg, minus 105 to plus 100. Tampa Bay, minus 105 to minus 115. 6.5s right across the board in this one. When it comes to goalies in this game, Jonas Johansson will be starting for Tampa Bay, and Connor Hellebuck. Both are likely. Connor Hellebuck is likely. Jonas Johansson is likely, and Johansson has struggled recently. 8-4-4 in the year, 3.44 goals against average, 894 save percentage. Hellebuck, not his usual Vezina self. 8-4-1, 2.91 goals against average, 897 save percentage. Both goalies have struggled. However, the Jets have won 6 of their last 7 games. They are playing a better overall hockey than the Tampa Bay Lightning right now. Andrei Vasilevsky, apparently he will be returning sometime within the next week. It does sound like when Tampa Bay goes out on the road, we will see Vasilevsky return. But I don't think Vasilevsky returning means that that Tampa Bay is back to normal, and I think it's going to take some time for him to get back into game shape. And even with Vasilevsky, I feel that Tampa Bay has still taken a step back this year. So I don't think they'll be their dominant self when the season is done. For me here in this one, Cole Perfetti from Winnipeg to get a point at plus 100. He has a point in 10 of his last 12 games. So Perfetti's been on a hot run for the Winnipeg Jets. Plus 100 to get a point here against Tampa's defense slash goaltending. I will take that here in this game. And I do kind of lean with Winnipeg a little bit. I do lean with Winnipeg in this one. Captain Bryce is over 6.5. I could see that. Tweak says Winnipeg plus 1.5. I could see that too. Good parlay piece there. Each team averages 3 goals a game. If math is math, 3 plus 7 equals 7. Shout out to Mr. Ace. Yeah, 3 and 3 equals an over. So that's always good. Tampa can score 30% power play versus Jets 18%. Yeah, Tampa does have the edge there. Isaac says, and then it says, darn you, Robert, lol. So obviously something Robert just says. I think it has to do with the Mr. Ice, the comment, but we'll just leave that there. Moving on along to the next game, which is going to be a really good game to watch. Boston Bruins against the Florida Panthers. Two hot teams facing each other. Boston minus 108 to minus 115. Florida plus 100 to minus 110. Sixes right across the board in this game. Um, and this one's really tough. This one's really tough. Seeing Boston at minus 108 to minus 115, that's a great price on Boston that we're just not going to see very often. However, Florida, not a team I really am rushing to go fade. That's for sure. We obviously had the playoff matchup between these two teams last year. So I could see Boston being really motivated in this game to beat the Panthers. Ultimately, this game's a pass. I can't get involved in either side. Um, don't really want to go near the total either. Boston has been playing higher scoring games recently, but I could see this being a 2-1 game. So staying off this one. Looking at player props, it's not really priced very well, but Marchand, Zaka, and McAvoy for Boston have all been on point streaks. So if you're looking for parlay pieces, I'd look at those guys. Pasternak assist as well. For Florida, it's been Reinhart. Reinhart has been the guy for the Florida Panthers, and Matthew Tkachuk has been MIA. I believe it's 3 or 4 straight games he has not got a point. So Florida has been winning games, but without Matthew Tkachuk basically recently. So this game is ultimately just a pass when it comes to cider total. Isaac says that goof blocked me. LOL. Whoa. Well, there you go. Correct, Harry. Yeah. So Isaac does not like Mr. Ice. Hey, not everyone's gonna like everybody. That's the way it goes. Captain Bry leads Panthers at home. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. No Barkov. Yeah, yeah, that's another reason why I'm kind of about this game. But Robert likes Panthers anyway. Boston is a mess. I don't know if Boston's a mess. Yes, they blew that, and because they blew that game with 4.8 seconds left, I really do think we get a good performance from Boston. So this game is just a pass when it comes to side or total. I could see either team winning. There's motivation on both sides here. So this game is just very tough. Lean the draw, really. I do lean the draw in this one. Next, we have New Jersey Devils and the Detroit Red Wings. New Jersey minus 148 to minus 155. Detroit plus 125 to plus 135. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And this game is another game where I'm kind of, I'll just say it, I'm passing. I'm passing on this one. New Jersey has Jack Hughes back. So I definitely want to look at New Jersey going forward. Detroit, one of the 4 teams coming back from Sweden. Of course, they have had a few days to adjust back to North American time. But neither of these teams are playing that well right now. And I don't trust either of these teams to win. If anything, it would be New Jersey in some fashion. Maybe parlay Devils money line with something else. Maybe look at Devils in regulation. But this game ultimately is a difficult one for me. So I'm passing here in this one. Home ice advantage is huge. Yeah, yeah, potentially. Devils 6-3. All right. So you like over and the Devils. Euro ice is even more huge. Yes, it is. It is. Who's even in net for Detroit? Which is a very good question. Let me go take a look and see if we have any confirmed goaltenders here. Yes, nobody's confirmed for New Jersey, but Alex Lyon will be starting for Detroit. Played a 1 game 0-1 with 3.05 goals against average, 890 save percentage. He played against Toronto in the Global Series and obviously lost that game. But played pretty well for Florida last year. But now he's got to face this Devils offense. So, yeah, I would definitely lean with New Jersey in some form. Jack Hughes over 3.5 shots on goal. He had 8 versus a very good Rangers team. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. And Perlo Wisdoms, I'm fading any team coming back from Sweden. Yeah, I can see that. Especially Detroit having to play today. Minnesota's not playing today. Um, Toronto's not playing today. Ottawa's not playing today. So those 3 teams get an extra couple days until Friday to get adjusted. But this Detroit team has to play today. So Detroit kind of got a raw deal here in this one. So Devils in regulation. Yeah, I wouldn't lean that way as well. I would. I'm only fading the Leafs for that scenario. I don't know about the Sens. Yeah, yeah, we'll have to see. Over 6.5. That would be my other lean. So Devils in reg and over 6.5. I do think we get goals. I do think the Devils win. Just don't like what I've seen from the Devils recently, but this should be a good spot for them here in this game. Moving on along to Philadelphia Flyers against the New York Islanders. Philadelphia plus 120 to plus 132. The Islanders minus 142 to minus 150. Sixes and a 5.5 available as well in this one. And I've already had to say I was wrong about the Bruins taking a step back. I was wrong about the LA Kings not being a really, really good team. And now I have to admit that I was wrong on this Philadelphia Flyers team. Um, they've won 5 games in a row. And yes, they've been up and down at times this year. But I think we can all agree that the Flyers have played better than anyone really expected this year. The Islanders on the other side, I don't know how the Islanders are minus 150. Um, Maybe against Columbus, they should be minus 150. Um, when they face San Jose, I could see them being a favorite. They're probably end up being like minus 200 against San Jose, which would be just ridiculous. But this Islanders team is just not priced correctly in this game. This should be more of a pick 'em than Islanders minus 150. So give me the Flyers plus 132. They're my dog of the day. I like the Flyers here. They've just continued to prove me wrong. And during this 5 game point streak, it hasn't been bums they've faced either. Let me get it up here exactly who they face. But Carolina's, I know they faced Carolina in one of the games. Um, Los Angeles, Carolina, and Vegas are 3 of the teams that this Philadelphia team has beaten. So they are just playing great hockey, and I have to take them here as a dog against the Islanders. Over 5.5 seems fishy. Yeah, it's Robert likes the under 5.5, and the only reason why I don't like that is because Islanders defensively have been horrible. They've been just leaving Sorokin out to dry. The Islanders have lost 7 of their last 8 games. Yes, they won in the shootout in their most recent game. They have gone to overtime in 3 straight games. So they have been going past overtime. Flyers money line, I like that as well. Islanders give up so many shots. Yeah, what happened to this team's defense? So if the old, boring, slow Islanders have no defense, this team is in big trouble. Big trouble. And I can't even consider putting any of my money near the Islanders. So give me the Flyers here. Never know who's going to show up with the Isles. Brock Nelson, Matt Barzell, Anders Lee. Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get from this Islanders team. So I will take Philadelphia Flyers on the road as a road dog in this one. Moving on along to our next game, St. Louis Blues, Arizona Coyotes. St. Louis minus 105 to plus 101. Arizona minus 110 to minus 118. Sixes and a 6.5 over at Bet365. St. Louis won the most recent meeting between these teams. I believe it was 2-1. Before that, we had seen overs. We had seen Arizona have no trouble scoring against the St. Louis Blues, at least until the most recent meeting. Um, and this game was a really easy choice for me. Pass. 14 games on the slate today. This is one that I easily passed on. If you did want something, Pavel Buchnevich is on a point streak for the Blues. Matthias Michelli has been playing really well all season long for the Arizona Coyotes. So I would be looking at those two players for player props. But overall in this game, um, I'm not ready to admit that I was wrong about this Blues team. I still think they're a bad hockey team, and I think Arizona is better than the Blues, at least at this point in time. So lean with Arizona in some fashion, but so many games in the slate today, you don't have to bet every one. So I will pass in this game officially. Horvat, yeah, another one of the Islanders. Oh geez, I have 11 sides. LOL. Yeah, well, when you have 14 games, it's easy to have a lot of plays. So I'm fine with um, passing on some stuff. A game I won't be passing on is the Calgary Flames and the Nashville Predators here in this one. Calgary minus 110 to minus 112. Nashville minus 108 to plus 101. Sixes, there is a 5.5 available as well in this one. And as someone commented on the Getting Wild with Terry and Friends Twitter polls, um, Dave, his name was, said he liked the draw in this game between the Flames and the Predators, and I could see that. I could. No draws officially for me today, so I don't have a draw on today's slate, but this could be one. And he said 2-2. I could see that as well. But I'm not going to be taking an under um, with either of these teams. Despite the fact that I do lean with the under, I'm not going to go there. But I will take Mr. Nyquist to get a point. Minus 115 on the top line for the Nashville Predators. As I said earlier in the show, I really wish Minnesota would not have let Nyquist go. Um, they really should have re-signed Gustav Nyquist, found a way to do it because he's just continued playing really well this year. And when Nyquist is not injured, when he's healthy, he is a top six forward, and he's on the top line for the Preds with um, Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly. So that is basically the Predators' offense is on that top line. So I will take Nyquist to get a point here at minus 115. Robert says 7% power play for the Blues. So you like Yotes money line? Yeah, their power play is just awful. Just awful. Arizona takes too many penalties, 254 minutes. Wow, that is a lot. Nick likes Flames and over 6. Interesting. Interesting. Salute Terry. It's been a struggle lately on these bets. I'm going to change it up on those props that have been hitting. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Philip Forsberg over 3.5 shots on goal. He's achieved this in 8 of his last 9 home games. Sounds good to me. If he finds the back of the net, I'm probably cashing that prop over there. So I hope he does. Flames plus 1.5. All right. So Robert and Nick are liking the Flames. And I can see that they've been playing better recently. Draw. Yes, I could see the draw. I could see the draw in this game. And next we'll go to another playoff rematch, and this could potentially be one of the games of the night on today's slate. Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars. Vegas plus 110 to plus 121. Dallas minus 125 to minus 135. Sixes right across the board here in this game. And Vegas started 11-0-1 on the season. They had a fantastic start to the season. And if you told me when they were at that point that I would be getting an opportunity to take them at plus 120, plus 115, I would have told you that that's an easy bet. I'm 100% on it. I don't care who they're playing with how they started the season. However, Vegas 2-4-1 in their last 7. So they've won 2 of their last 7 games and they're starting to really come back down to earth. Dallas 5-1 in their last 6 games. Yes, Dallas did blow a lead. So teams are just blowing leads. So uh, when you're betting today's games, if a team has a 2 or 3 goal lead, don't feel that it's safe because game leads are not safe right now. It doesn't matter who it is, but Dallas was able to. They blew their lead. I can't remember who was against, and then their last game they did the opposite. Is they went down 3-0 to the Rangers, but came back with a 6-3 win. I could see this game going overtime. That is why I did have it as an option in the draw poll. Of course, Dallas has been an overtime team a lot recently. These two teams faced each other in the playoffs last year, obviously with Vegas winning and going to the Cup. But I like the Stars here. I like the Stars minus 125. This Vegas team is coming down to earth really fast. And even though they're a dog, I think they're a dog for a reason in this game. I like the Stars minus 125, and I like Matt Duchene to get a point also at minus 125. I didn't write down exactly how many games he's a point in, but I believe it's something like 10 of 12 or something like that. He has been hot for the Dallas Stars. And if you're getting that kind of production from Duchene, who I believe is on the second or third line, this Stars team is just stacked. So I will take them in this game. Looking at goalies for this game, I know I forgot goalies for the last couple of games. Jake Ottinger is confirmed. Nobody confirmed yet for the Vegas Golden Knights. Jake Ottinger in this one. We'll go back to the chat. Oh, sorry. I don't know what you're sorry for, but okay. Preds money line and minus 1.5. Whoa. Whoa. All right. Lean under. Vegas Golden Knight looks human as of late. Yes. They look very human. That's for sure. It's because they signed Sleepy Joe to the team. Yeah, I guess. B. Sawyer on the draw in this game. Yeah, I saw that, and it's never a bad bet to take Dallas to go to overtime because that's just what they do a lot. So, um, feels like a game that goes to a shootout. Yeah, see, Nick agrees with the draw in this one. Vegas Golden Knights money line. They beat them once. Well, I don't think they're going to do it again. I don't. If everyone says this is going to overtime, you like Vegas even more. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I want to draw with Ottawa last game, but once Wedgwood got confirmed, he took the Stars minus 1.5. Good play, good play. Marchessault goal, Eichel assist tonight. That was my go-to in the playoffs, but not so much this year. That hasn't carried over to this year. So yeah, the draw seems fair. All right, and draw for sure. So lots of people like the draw in this game, and that's why the polls on the channel was so heavy for this game to go to overtime. Moving on to our next game, the battle of I guess you could say sea creatures. We have the San Jose Sharks against the Seattle Kraken here in this one. San Jose plus 220 to plus 254. Seattle minus 260 to minus 300. Sixes right across the board. And no big surprise here that we're seeing anyone who plays San Jose as huge favorites. Really interested to see what happens when San Jose faces a team like Columbus. I'm really interested to see what kind of odds we get there. Are we going to get Columbus minus 200? Because that just Seems kind of crazy. Um, this game's a pass. I cannot, in good faith, tell anyone to take the Sharks. I did mention to take the Sharks, of course, when their GM called out the team, and they did win 2 games in a row. So that was a good opportunity to take them. But I just don't see any other opportunity to take the Sharks team. Obviously, they've continued losing. They have yet to win a game on the road. They're just a horrible, horrible hockey team. Seattle on the other side, you'd have to take Seattle on the puck line here in this one. And I don't really feel super excited to do that. I could see this game being a 3-2 game with Seattle winning. So just no play for me here in this one. I do like Vince Dunn to continue his point streak. I'm not sure exactly what that's priced at. Jordan Eberle as well has been on a really hot point streak. So I would look at those guys for parlay pieces. Maybe throw Kraken money line in a parlay as well. But overall, this game is just a pass for me. The most beautiful game of the night. If Blackwood/Decor gets confirmed, you're taking Sharks money line and Sharks in regulation. Wow, wow, A6. I don't know what to say. Joey Decord is likely for the Kraken. 2, 2, and 5. So I don't know about the in regulation because he seems to go to overtime a lot and better numbers than Blackwood. Really, any goalie should have better numbers than Blackwood uh, on the season. Hard pass, Notley -110 on Kraken puck line lean. Sharks first period +185. Can't trust the Sharks for 60 minutes or at all. Yeah, Nick, I know you've been just betting against San Jose whenever you can. So if Nick is saying to pass this game because he has loved fading San Jose, then that means there's a good reason here to stay off this one. Kraken puck line. Robert does like the Kraken on the puck line. David says yes, of course. Not sure what you're saying yes, of course about, but okay. Draw got to be in the +400s. Yeah, definitely. It definitely would be with this game. But no, this game's a pass for me. And moving on along to the next one, which is another pass for me. I'll spoil it. Montreal and Anaheim. Montreal +102 to +110. Anaheim -115 to -125. 6.5s right across the board in this one. And I just don't have anything for this game. There's no player props on either team that are on point streaks. McTavish is dried up. Monahan is dried up. Neither of these teams are really winning a whole lot of games. And this game is just the pass of the night. There's one game we should pass on tonight's slate. This is the one for me that I just have zero interest in. So many other better games on the slate to bet on. So this game is an easy pass for me. Sharks are +160. First period draw, no bet on ESPN Bet. All right, all right. You do the recap at the end. No, I don't do a recap because it's so many different games. But if you want to find out what game, you can just easily skip through. Obviously, the matchups on the bottom there. So no recap at the end. Ducks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Lean Ducks, but pass. Yeah, I agree. Robert likes the Ducks as well. Live bet the Ducks in the third. They always come back. Yes. If Montreal is up by 1 in the third, then yeah, I would look at the Ducks. And IceX says, oh, shiz, Toby, because talking about the Sharks. And I don't know. But going on along to our final game of the night, it's going to be another really good game to watch. We got the Vancouver Canucks +145 to +155. Colorado -163 to -175. 6.5s right across the board here in this game. And looking at this one, I've been taking overs with the Canucks. I've been taking overs with Colorado, and now these two teams are facing each other. So take a guess on where I'm going in this one. Give me the over 6.5 at minus 120, but give me the Vancouver Canucks as well, plus 155. Yes, Vancouver, kind of like Vegas, is starting to come down a bit to earth here over their last few games. But this team has just been. I just think that they should be the odds should be a lot closer in this one. Um, don't trust Colorado as this big of a favorite, and I think Vancouver has a good shot to win this game. I think this could be another game that goes to overtime. I think we could see a lot of draws tonight. But I'll take the over 6.5, which is my favorite play in this game. Vancouver Canucks on the money line. Smaller play. That's probably only going to be a half unit play for me, but I will be sprinkling on the Canucks. Looking at player props, uh, it's really tough to bet a player prop singly between these two teams because of how pricey everything is. Philip Hronik is officially cold now. Um, 2 of his last 5 games, he's not got a point. So off Hronik now. Quinn Hughes, JT Miller, and Cale Makar. If you can same game parlay at Bet365, I would same game parlay those 3 all to get a point, or use any one of those 3 as parlay pieces. Hughes and Makar battling it out for the Norris this year. So we'll see what happens there between those 2 teams or those 2 players. It's a trap. I'll pass. All right. All right. Canucks plus 152. This line is ridiculous. I completely agree with Nick. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that's a bit scary. That's a bit scary. Avs on the puck line. Maybe. Captain Bry is going to continue with heroic point. I'm not sure what the odds are for it, but I'm officially off Hronik now. Maybe we'll see him heat back up again, but I'm off it right now. Welp. Yeah, Welp. Canucks 3% power play versus Avs 19%. Yes, the Canucks have a strong power play this year. JT Miller over half an assist at minus 105. Interesting. I know he's been scoring a lot of goals, but we'll see if he can get an assist for Toby. Canucks road dog? Question mark. McKinnon hates to lose. Yeah, McKinnon might hate to lose, but hey, he's gonna have to get used to it. I'm kidding. He's such a competitor. Yeah, I can agree with that. The Moose is loose. All right. Fuck. Uh-oh. Fuck what? Kakinen for San Jose. Oof. Oh, Kakinen got confirmed. I see. Rantanen. And Nick says maybe now grab some Kraken. I do know that Kakinen did play very well in his most recent start. It was against Vancouver, actually. I believe he stopped 40 or 42 shots. I think there was an empty net. I'm not sure, but I know he did play very well in his last game. So we'll see what happens there. I'll sleep in shark piss tonight. LOL. Well, have fun with that, A6. Have fun with that. But that's today's show. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Appreciate all the support. We continue to grow each day. So make sure if you haven't hit the subscribe button to hit it. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. If you're watching on Twitter, come join us on the YouTube channel. We'd love to have you in the YouTube chat, giving your opinions. And yeah, that's about it. We'll see you guys back on Friday for a 15-game slate. I'm wondering what Saturday slate's going to look like because with so many games on Friday, we might be getting a smaller Saturday slate for once, and we'll have a lot of back-to-backs if we do have a lot of games. So we'll see you guys back on Friday. Happy Thanksgiving to the Americans that are watching the show. And we'll see you guys on Friday. Best of luck, guys.